Hello everyone, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Today we are going to be talking about my absolute favorite mind power tool, subliminal affirmations tracks. If you've been around my channel for any length of time, you know I am so passionate about subliminals. And this is because years ago, I started using subliminals in my own life, long before I started creating them, to manifest changes in all areas of my life. And by far, of every law of attraction tool I have encountered, subliminals were infinitely more effective for shifting my energy, changing my thoughts consistently, helping me to manifest not only the material things I wanted, like my soulmate relationship, like the career of my dreams, but also to manifest changes, massive energetic changes in my confidence, in my mood, in my relationships, and really those areas of life that are even more essential to our growth and well-being than the material things. So in this video, I want to talk about how subliminals work, why they are so effective, not only for me, but for several people I talk to on a day-to-day basis who are using them to create magnificent, incredible changes in their lives. The story of why subliminals works dates all the way back to the 1950s. In 1957, a man by the name of James Vicary performed a series of experiments. In these experiments, he showed a visual subliminal to a movie theater audience without their knowledge. You've probably heard about this subliminal because it became pretty popular. In fact, it really stunned the world. This is the subliminal ad that said, "Drink Coca-Cola, eat popcorn." Now, this is considered a subliminal ad because the word subliminal means below the threshold of consciousness. In other words, subconscious, unconscious. This means that anything that is considered to be subliminal is something that is revealed only to our subconscious mind, while our conscious mind is unable to recognize it. So this is anything that affects our brain, affects the subconscious part of our brain by bypassing the filter of the conscious mind. I always say that the conscious mind could be seen as a gatekeeper, protecting the subconscious, because the subconscious controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life, but it's much harder to reach this part of the brain. Again, because this part of the brain is constantly protected by the conscious filter of our mind. Subliminals are a way to essentially hack our own subconscious, to get past this conscious filter and make deep, lasting thought impressions on the subconscious, which is the 95% of the brain, which is the powerhouse of manifestation. So getting back to this 1957 experiment, this visual subliminal ad was flashed on the movie screen to this unknowing audience for just a fraction of a second. Not a single audience member even noticed that it was shown to them. However, By showing this subliminal ad, these researchers discovered that both popcorn sales and Coca-Cola sales increased dramatically. This experiment shook the world when it was published because it showed the kind of power advertisers had. In a world where even back in the 1950s, advertisers were beginning to gain more and more presence in all areas of our lives, which of course is nothing compared to how much presence these advertisers have in our lives today. In a world where advertising was already so ever-present in people's lives, it was astonishing the ways in which these companies could unconsciously influence the minds of the masses, essentially brainwashing them to purchase their products or to take actions that profited them in some way. It was terrifying for many people to realize that their actions could be controlled without their conscious consent. Now, these subliminals were visual in nature, but the subliminals that I talk about, that I create, and that I use in my daily life are audio subliminals. However, they function the same. Audio subliminals, like visual subliminals, bypass the conscious filter of the mind, but instead of being flashed for a fraction of a second on a movie screen, audio subliminals bypass that conscious filter because the subliminal messages in the track are hidden within other sounds. In the case of the subliminals I create, these are background meditation sounds like binaural beat frequencies and relaxing sounds such as rain, ocean waves, white noise, or relaxing music. Woven within these background sounds and frequencies are positive messages that are clearly audible to the subconscious mind, but completely incomprehensible to the conscious mind, which is what makes these audio meditation tracks subliminal, below the threshold of our consciousness. Now, why are subliminals like this so powerful? Because just like in that experiment in 1957, in the experiment in which companies used subliminal ads to influence the actions of their audience, we can use subliminals for ourselves to naturally influence our own brains, our own subconscious minds, to manifest certain things into reality that have seemed stuck or even impossible for a long time. Essentially, we are taking back our power because if in 1957 advertisers were running experiments like this with subliminal ads, one can only imagine the ways in which advertisers have evolved since then. We are quite literally being bombarded by some form of subliminal all day long. When we actively incorporate listening to subliminals we have chosen into our daily routine, all we are doing is creating a space in which, instead of being influenced by the world around us, by the ways in which our subconscious mind is being influenced by companies or advertisers or even other people, instead we are closing our eyes, turning within, and using subliminals to our own advantage to create the kinds of lives we desire and deserve to create for ourselves, to create our own destiny. Another reason subliminals are so powerful is because if you feel stuck, like I have felt stuck in the past in certain areas of my life, if you have been trying one method after another, if you've been trying affirmations, meditation, visualization, every law of attraction technique under the sun, and yet that certain area of your life just feels immovable, whether it's in romance, in your finances, in your career. The reason you feel that sensation of stuckness is because that stuckness is indicating to you that there is a pattern of negative thinking that is playing like a loop within your subconscious mind. And why these methods have been failing is because they aren't accessing that subconscious part of the brain that we access through subliminals. Most law of attraction methods are only working upon our conscious mind, and most people don't realize that this part of the mind only consists of 5% of the results we're actually getting back. And oftentimes, when it comes to subjects in which we have many subconscious thought blockages, deeply rooted subconscious beliefs stemming often from early childhood, from things we overheard from our parents, from things we saw on TV, from things we witnessed in our environment. All of this subconscious stimuli in our youth was absorbed into our subconscious in the form of these negative thought patterns that continue then to play out and manifest into our adulthood and make us feel stuck. Subliminals are really a key that can unlock this door to the mind. I invite you to check out the description box where I have shared a bit more information about the subliminals I've created on my website, Sound and Soulful. On this website, I have created a library of over 100 subliminals. Within this library are subliminals designed for every area of life. So whether you are feeling stuck in finances, in love, in self-confidence, whatever it may be for you, explore this library and see if you find a subliminal that resonates with you. I will link in the description box some of my most popular subliminal tracks. You can click any of the links attached in the description box to explore more about the positive messages contained within each of these subliminals. And when you sign up for a trial account on my site, you can listen to and access every subliminal in 3 different background meditation sounds, completely free. I offer this trial period because most people will experience massive energetic shifts from listening to subliminals within this first 7 days. I hope this video was helpful for you in understanding how you can use subliminal affirmations tracks to affect change that begins first deeply within the mind and then manifests outward into all areas of your life. If I resonate with you and my message on this channel resonates with you, please consider subscribing. Join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.